Hi, Denise here from Project Frugal. I'm just out enjoying the sunshine in my garden, just having a look at the tomatoes growing and seeing if any have turned red overnight, but alas, we haven't got any just yet. Today I am going to upcycle a couple of garments that I have been trying to sell online for probably over 6 months, and I've kept reducing the price, and even right down to $1. They haven't sold, so today I am going to upcycle them into something else. So let's go inside and get started. With this particular one, that I might make it into a mini skirt by cutting through here and also into a throw over cardigan by cutting right through here and having the roll neck sort of drape over the shoulders. To make this into a mini skirt, what we're going to do is we'll cut through here, but at the top we're going to attach the skirt to a stretchy band, which will just give us a little bit more length here. We will remove these buttons, and with the pockets I'm going to leave them where they are, but I'm going to unpick across here and sew here. So I'm not going to worry about taking the pockets off completely. I think that's just a waste of time. So yeah, we'll just put a stitch across the bottom and we'll open the top up. Maybe that's where we can utilize some of these buttons, is on the pockets, give them a bit of detail. So with the stretchy band, all I've got here is a recycled t-shirt, lycra t-shirt. So this gives us enough for both sides. So in effect the band will be around about 3 inches wide on top of that. So once we allow a little bit of seam, so it will sit there. So we need to make that at least 10 centimetres less than the top of this, which will be the top of the skirt here. So without any further ado, we will cut through here. So we want this to be quite even. So I'm just going to snip the side for a second, because I'm going to cut the front and the back separately, just so I can get it even. So here we have the bases of our skirt here and the band. So with the band we just want to cut this in half. Then we need to make it a little bit shorter than the actual band itself. So we're going to take that down by at least 5 centimetres or 10 centimetres all up, and then by the time we put our seam in, that will give us a 10 centimetre difference. Okay, so we've got our band here. I'm just going to go and sew this together, just even this end up a little bit. Just make sure that it's even across the top and the bottom. Okay, so we'll sew the band together, this end and this end, which will give us our loop. We're just going to pop this band on it. So all we do is fold this in half, making sure that the seam is folded inwards and going the same way on both ends, so we don't have any sort of build up of fabric. And we pop one end onto the side of the skirt, like so. And we just go to the other side. We find making sure the seam's going the same way on this side as well. And we just find the middle of the side here on the skirt piece, and we pin. Then to find the center of the band, we just bring it up and we center our pins together, and we pop a pin in here. So all I'm doing is centering the pins here, like so, and running my finger to the end of the band on the inside, and that will give me my center. And turn it around the back, and we do the same here. So just lining your pins up here and pulling the band out away from the skirt and popping your center pin in. So what we're going to do now is find the center part of the skirt, and we'll pin them together so we can sew them. So to do that, we're just doing the same as placing the pins together and finding the center of the skirt. We just bring the band up on top and line up the fabric like so, and pop your pin in. So that gives us 4 points where we're going to be sewing. Just do the back. So lining the pins up again on the sides, finding the center point of the skirt, bringing the band up on top and placing the pin through both layers. So that gives us 4 points. We can actually go ahead now and just line this fabric up, and because both of these fabrics have got stretch, we can stretch it out to find the center piece, which is about here. So all we're going to do now is sew all the way around, and you do need to keep a firm hand on the fabric, just giving it a very slight stretch as you sew, and making sure that you catch all 4 layers. Or have we got 4 layers or 3? I think we've got 3 layers on this instant. So let's get started on the sewing. Okay, so we've got the top part of the skirt done, and that's all there is to it. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to sew the bottom of what will become the pocket, and then we will unpick the top. So here you can see we've got the new skirt, and like I said, I'm going to unpick the top of the pocket, but I'll do that later on. So all we've done is we've attached the band to the top, and that has got quite a bit of stretch in it. So that's your new skirt, and all I'm going to do with the hem is actually give it a crunchy overlock. Alright, so moving on to the top, we'll just get rid of the old tag off here. So we really want the front. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to cut all the way through the center. I'm going to fold it in half again. Bring it to the center here. Make sure our shoulders are all lined up. And I'm going to actually separate the back of the neck away from the front so that I don't cut it accidentally. And what we're going to do here is we're going to cut through the center of all these bits here, avoiding the back of the garment. There is a warning with this, sometimes they don't work out, so let's have a look. So we've got our 2 layers in here, so we want right in the center of the front layer, and we're going to cut right the way through. And then all we're going to do with this is overlock around the edges. Just cutting all the way through the center. These hanging things I'm actually going to cut off. And because you're completely re-sewing the garment, you can actually cut the label out and put your own in. So the rules are if you alter a garment by at least 10%, which doesn't sound much, you can actually put your label in here. We'll get the overlocker out and we'll overlock all the way around the garment and also around the bottom of the skirt, and we'll see how it looks. Alrighty, so we're on the home stretch at last. It's taken me a couple of hours to actually thread this silly overlocker because the thread keeps snapping. But we're there, got there in the end, and so all we need to do is hem the skirt and hem around the edge of the cardigan. So we'll do that now. Okay, so that's the top done. And now we'll just do the hem on the skirt. Just in the same way. So I've sewed from the inside facing up so I can catch all of the necessary seams in the overlocking. Again, we're stretching the fabric out as far as we can take it. Which gives us that little bit of a scallop look on the edge. Okay, so that's all the sewing done. So we're just going to throw it on a mannequin and see what it looks like. So here we have our final garment, and I'm really happy with it. I can't wait to put it on a model. The top has actually formed a slight off the shoulder, which still allows plenty of room for the arms. And I have left the raw edge of the overlocking to form the hem around the skirt and also around the top. That comes across the shoulders and around the back, and it's formed a slight scoop at the back. So there we have it. One roll neck top, which wouldn't sell, transformed into a stunning 2-piece. So if you'd like to see more of these types of projects, make sure you like and subscribe, and keep an eye out because I will be doing a lot more of these types of projects.